My sister got a new car after beating cancer, and I got a $25 gift card for my birthday. Now my family's calling me jealous. All right, so here's the deal. I thanked them for the book and the gift card. I mean, what else was I supposed to do? I guess I did appreciate the thought a little bit, but frankly, I couldn't shake this massive wave of disappointment. It's my birthday, right? And after a year of running the house, is this what I get? I tried to keep my voice steady, but I know I didn't sound thrilled. I appreciate the gifts, Mom and Dad, I really do, I said, forcing a smile. But I was hoping you guys would finally be able to help me with the car. I went through it again like I had a million times before about the used car I'd been saving up for forever. I'm only about $800 short now, and I thought with Sarah's car and everything. My voice just trailed off. I didn't want to sound greedy or ungrateful. However, it was hard not to feel like I was being totally overlooked and I should have known better. And that's when the bomb dropped. Mom's face hardened and Dad sighed like I was being a huge pain. Seriously, Mom said, her voice all sharp. After everything your sister has been through, you're gonna make this about you. You're jealous of Sarah. Jealous? I was stunned. Jealous? No, I'm happy she's doing better, you know I am, but it's... I struggled to find the right words. It's not fair. I've been working so hard, saving up and helping out around the house. I thought maybe you guys would see that. Dad chimed in, his voice dripping with annoyance. Your sister *just* finished cancer treatment. Can't you be happy for her for once? She deserves that car after everything she's been through. I am happy for her, I insisted, my voice getting louder. But what about me? What about what I want? I've been putting my life on hold for the past year and all I get is a book and a gift card. Ultimately, you have a job, Mom said, dismissing me with a wave of her hand. You can continue saving. Sarah needed that car. It's a celebration, a fresh start. I stared at them, feeling this mix of anger and hurt bubbling up inside me. They really didn't get it. They didn't see all the sacrifices I'd made, all the things I'd given up. They only saw Sarah and her illness. It was like I was invisible. And looking back, I think that's when I started to realize how deep this went. So that's it then, I asked, my voice barely a whisper. You're not going to help me at all. Dad shook his head. We don't have the money right now, maybe later, but don't count on it. I turned and walked away because I couldn't stand to be in the same room with them anymore. I went to my room and slammed the door shut. I felt like I was gonna explode. All the frustration and resentment I'd been holding in for months came crashing down on me. I threw myself on my bed and started crying. It wasn't about the car anymore. It was about feeling like I didn't matter, like my feelings and needs were completely irrelevant. They didn't see me, and the worst part, I had a sinking feeling this wasn't the last time something like this would happen. Okay, so my sister was diagnosed with cancer last year. It hit us all hard, obviously. But I really tried to step up because Mom and Dad were a mess, understandably. Someone had to keep things running. I basically became the housemaid, cook, and second mom all rolled into one. Every day was the same, you know. Wake up early, make breakfast for everyone, pack lunches. Then it was cleaning, and I mean deep cleaning. Sarah's immune system was so weak, which meant everything had to be spotless. After school, I'd start dinner, do laundry, mountains of it, and help my younger sibling with their homework. I was exhausted all the time. I missed hanging out with my friends. I barely had time for my own schoolwork, and I definitely didn't have time for just being a teenager. But I didn't complain. Sarah was fighting for her life, and my parents were emotionally drained. Therefore, someone had to hold things together. I remember one night I was up late studying for a huge test. I was so tired I could barely keep my eyes open. Mom came into my room, and I thought she was going to yell at me for having the light on. However, instead, she just looked at me, really looked at me, and I saw this sadness in her eyes. You're doing so much, honey, she said, her voice cracking. I don't know what we'd do without you. I just shrugged. It's okay, Mom, I want to help. But inside, I was screaming. I didn't want to help. I wanted to be a normal kid again. I wanted to go to parties and laugh with my friends and not worry about hospital bills and chemotherapy appointments. But I couldn't say that, I just couldn't. And looking back, that was probably the beginning of everything. There were many nights where I just swallowed my own feelings and kept going. I drove Sarah to her appointments, held her hand during the scary procedures, and tried to keep her spirits up, even when I felt like breaking down myself. I listened to her vent about feeling sick and losing her hair, and I tried to be strong for her even though I was terrified too. Indeed, it wasn't just the physical stuff. It was the emotional toll. Seeing my sister so sick, watching my parents crumble under the pressure, it was all so heavy. I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. And the worst part was no one really seemed to notice. Everyone was so focused on Sarah, which I understood, but it felt like I was invisible, like my own needs and feelings didn't matter. I was just the reliable one, the one who always took care of everything. And I think that's why the car thing hit me so hard later. I remember Dad promising me last year that he would help me buy a car once things got better. I had been saving up for ages, working part-time after school, and I was so close to finally being able to buy a used car. It would have given me so much freedom. It would have allowed me to visit my friends who lived further away and generally made my life a little easier. But then Sarah got sick, and all the money went to medical bills. I understood Sarah's health was the priority, but it still stung. I kept working and saving, hoping that maybe, just maybe, things would turn around soon. I even found a used car online that was perfect, but I needed about $800 more than I had. I asked Dad if he could help me out even just a little bit, but he said they just didn't have the money. He looked genuinely sorry, but it was still a blow. He mentioned something about a bonus he was expecting at work, but that never materialized and I didn't want to push it. So I sacrificed a lot for my family last year. I put my own life on hold and I did it willingly. But it doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean I didn't have my own dreams and desires. It just means I kept them to myself because someone had to be strong. Someone had to be the responsible one. And that someone was me. I just wish they saw it, you know. Maybe things would be different now if they had. Okay, so I thanked them for the book and the gift card. I really did appreciate the thought, I guess. However, I couldn't help but feel this huge wave of disappointment wash over me. It's my birthday, and after everything, this is it. I tried to keep my voice even, but I know I didn't sound too happy. I appreciate the gifts, Mom and Dad, I really do, I said, trying to smile. But I was kind of hoping you guys would finally be able to help me with the car. I explained again, like I had a million times before, about the used car I'd been saving for. I was only about $800 short now, and I thought with Sarah's car and everything. My voice trailed off. I didn't want to sound greedy or ungrateful, but it was hard not to feel like I was being completely overlooked. That's when the bomb dropped. My mom's face hardened and my dad sighed like I was being a huge burden. Seriously, my mom said, her voice sharp. After everything your sister has been through, you're going to make this about you? You're jealous of Sarah. Jealous? I was stunned. Jealous? No, I'm happy she's doing better, you know I am, but it's... I struggled to find the right words. It's not fair. I've been working so hard, saving up and helping out around the house. I thought maybe, just maybe, you guys would see that. My dad chimed in, his voice laced with annoyance. Your sister just finished cancer treatment. Can't you be happy for her for once? She deserves that car after everything she's been through. I am happy for her, I insisted, my voice rising. But what about me? What about what I want? I've been putting my life on hold for the past year and all I get is a book and a gift card. In the end, you have a job, my mom said, dismissing my feelings with a wave of her hand. You can continue saving. Sarah needed that car. It's a celebration, a fresh start. I stared at them, feeling this mix of anger and hurt bubbling up inside me because they really didn't get it. They didn't see all the sacrifices I'd made, all the things I'd given up. They only saw Sarah and her illness. It was like I was invisible. So that's it then, I asked, my voice barely a whisper. You're not going to help me at all. My dad shook his head. We don't have the money right now, maybe later, but don't count on it. I turned and walked away since I couldn't stand to be in the same room with them anymore. I went to my room and slammed the door shut, feeling like I was going to explode. All the frustration and resentment I'd been holding in for months came crashing down on me. Therefore, I threw myself on my bed and started crying. It wasn't about the car anymore. It was about feeling like I didn't matter, like my feelings and needs were completely irrelevant. They didn't see me, and this was the beginning of a whole new level of messed up. I just stared at them, this weird mix of anger and hurt bubbling up. They really didn't get it, did they? All the sacrifices I'd made, all the stuff I'd given up. They just saw Sarah and her cancer like I was invisible. And looking back, I should have seen this coming. But I'd noticed little things they'd said and done over the past year that I'd brushed off at the time. So is that all there is? I asked, my voice barely there. You're not going to help me at all. Dad just shook his head. We simply don't have the money right now, maybe later, but don't count on it. He looked tired, but I was tired too, so I just turned and walked. I couldn't stand being in the same room anymore. I slammed my bedroom door so hard the walls shook because I felt like I was gonna explode. All the frustration, the resentment I'd been holding in for months just came crashing down. I threw myself on the bed and started crying. It wasn't just about the stupid car anymore. It was about feeling like I didn't matter, like my feelings and my needs were completely irrelevant. They just didn't see me. And I had this awful feeling that this wasn't the end, not even close, so something else was going to happen. I could just feel it. Okay, so I'm standing there, staring at this $25 gift card and a book I mentioned like once. My birthday was 2 weeks after my little sister Sarah got a brand new car, a freaking car. After beating cancer, which, yeah, amazing, but still a car. Last year I asked my dad if he could help me get a used car. I wasn't even asking him to pay for the whole thing, just help with the last $800. He said no way, they were broke. Now this. I should have known better, which means there was a reason I stopped asking them for things years ago. I thanked them, but they could tell I wasn't exactly thrilled. What's wrong? My mom asks, all innocent. I can't believe this is happening. I feel this pressure building in my chest like I'm going to explode. I can't just let them get away with this. They can't just dismiss my feelings like they don't matter. No, I say, my voice shaking but firm. No, I'm not being jealous, I'm being honest. You guys are being unfair. I stand up straighter, trying to control my breathing. Here's the thing. I'm through pretending like everything is okay, and I'm through being the responsible one who always puts everyone else first. My mom gasps like I've just slapped her. My dad just stares at me, his face turning red. How dare you speak to us like that? My mom says, her voice trembling with anger. We've done everything for you kids. Everything? I repeat, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. Is that so? Because it feels like you've done everything for Sarah and I'm just here. I look from my mom to my dad, my eyes burning with unshed tears. I'm not saying Sarah doesn't deserve that car, she does, but I deserve something too. I deserve to be seen, I deserve to be valued. And I deserve more than a $25 gift card and a book after everything I've done this past year. We appreciate everything you've done, my dad says, his voice softening slightly. But you have to understand. No, you have to understand, I interrupt, my voice rising again. I'm not a robot, I have feelings, I have dreams, and you guys are crushing them. You're making me feel like I'm not good enough, like I don't matter. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. I'm not trying to make this about me, but it is about me. It's about my life, my future, and you guys are acting like it's not important. I look at them pleadingly. Please just see me, see what I've been doing, see how much I've sacrificed, and just acknowledge that I deserve something too. The silence hangs heavy in the air. My parents just stare at me, their faces unreadable. I can't tell if they're actually listening or if they're just waiting for me to stop talking so they can tell me how selfish I am. I had a feeling this wasn't going to end well. I can't do this anymore, I whisper, my voice cracking. I need to get out of here. I turn and run out of the house, tears streaming down my face. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I can't stay here. I need to escape, to breathe, to just be. I run until my lungs burn and my legs ache, and I don't stop until I reach the park, collapsing onto a bench, sobbing uncontrollably. I feel like my heart is breaking. I feel lost and alone and completely unloved. I didn't even grab my phone, which I'd later regret. This is the breaking point. I can't keep pretending anymore. I can't keep swallowing my feelings and sacrificing my own happiness for the sake of my family. Something has to change, but I don't know how. I know I can't go back to the way things were. I just wish I knew then what I know now, because things were about to get a whole lot worse. I'm just sitting here in my room, staring at the ceiling. My phone's blowing up figures. Posting this was bound to get some attention, but damn, this is a lot. I almost wish I hadn't, but then again, maybe it's better than keeping it all bottled up, right? I start scrolling through the comments, feeling a weird mix of anxiety and something else. Hope, maybe. I just hope this doesn't end up making things worse, though. The first few are just the usual YTA or NTA judgments, but then I start seeing longer, more thoughtful responses. NTA, your parents are playing favorites and it's not okay. You have to have a serious conversation with them about how their actions are affecting you. Okay, yeah, I already tried that. It didn't exactly go well, so I'm beginning to believe they're just incapable of seeing my side of things. Another one, NTA, but really don't expect them to change. Focus on yourself, your job, and saving up for that car. You'll get there eventually and you'll do it on your own terms. That actually makes sense. Maybe I'm putting too much hope into them changing. Perhaps I should just accept that this is who they are and focus on what I can control. It's just hard though. Someone else wrote, ESH, everyone sucks here. Your parents suck for the obvious reasons, but you also need to understand that your sister just went through something incredibly traumatic. Perhaps talk to her about how you're feeling, instead of directing your anger at your parents. Okay, that one stings a little. I haven't really talked to Sarah about any of this because I didn't want to burden her, especially after everything she's been through. But maybe she has some idea of what's going on. Maybe she feels guilty too. I don't know, I'm almost afraid to ask. There's another comment that catches my eye, NTA. But have you considered family therapy? It could help you guys communicate better and address the underlying issues. Family therapy? Us. The thought of sitting in a room with my parents and a therapist, hashing out all our problems, makes me want to crawl under a rock and die. But maybe it's worth a shot, I don't know. It seems like such a drastic step, and besides, I'm not even sure they'd agree to it. I keep scrolling, reading more and more comments. Some are supportive, some are critical, but most of them offer some kind of advice or suggestion. It's overwhelming, but also kind of comforting. It's as if I'm not alone in this. Other people have gone through similar things, and they're offering their perspectives and experiences, you know. One comment stands out, NTA, your parents are wrong for treating you this way, but don't let their actions define you. Use this as an opportunity to become more independent and self-reliant. Prove them wrong. Show them that you don't need their approval to succeed. That one hits me hard, prove them wrong. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Stop focusing on what they're not giving me and start focusing on what I can achieve on my own. It's a nice thought, but easier said than done, right? I close my eyes, taking a deep breath. It won't be easy and it will take time and effort. But maybe this whole mess can be a turning point. Perhaps it can be the catalyst that pushes me to become stronger, more independent, and more resilient. I just hope I don't end up regretting posting this, though. I open my eyes, feeling a flicker of determination. I don't know what the future holds, but I know one thing, I'm not going to let my parents' actions define me. I'm going to define myself. And maybe, just maybe, I'll finally get that car, even if I have to do it all on my own. I just wish I knew what was coming next, because really I was completely unprepared for what happened later that night. I'm lying in bed now, staring at the ceiling as the whole fight just keeps replaying. Their words, the way they looked at me. It's stuck on repeat. There's this heavy feeling in my chest, a mix of anger and exhaustion, so I can't even bring myself to get up. What they said about me being jealous of Sarah, that really hit a nerve. How could they even think that, though? I love my sister and I've been there for her through everything. But it's like they can't see past her illness, which means I'm just invisible. And the car thing, it's not just about the money, it's about feeling like they value me, like they care about what I want. I guess it's also about the promise Dad made last year, the one he conveniently forgot. I keep thinking about all the stuff I've missed out on this past year, like hanging with my friends and doing things I wanted to do. I did it all for them, for Sarah, and this is how they thank me. I can feel this resentment building up inside, a slow burn. I don't want to resent them, but it's hard not to when I feel so overlooked. I almost wish I hadn't said anything at all. Maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut. Is this how it's always gonna be? Am I always gonna be the responsible one, sacrificing everything? Am I ever gonna get what I want? I probably should talk to someone like a therapist. However, the thought of opening up to a stranger about all this just feels like too much. Maybe I'll just try to talk to Sarah first, if she'll even listen. I just want to feel normal again, to be happy, to feel loved. But right now, I just feel empty. I close my eyes, trying to shut everything out, but it's no use. I'm trapped in this loop of anger and sadness, and I don't know how to break free. I'm scared this resentment is gonna mess things up with my family. I don't want that, but I don't know how to stop it. I had this weird feeling like something else was about to happen, something completely unexpected. I just lie here feeling crushed by everything. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gotta change. Okay, so I've been scrolling through the comments for what feels like forever. It's a mixed bag, some people get it, but some totally don't. However, one thing keeps popping up: focus on yourself. Honestly, it's hitting home. I've been so caught up in what my parents think and whether they'll help, so maybe it's time I stopped. It's not like they're going to magically change overnight, right? I push myself up from the bed and head to my desk. Disaster zone, books and papers are everywhere. I start sorting, tossing old stuff, trying to make sense of the chaos. It feels good, like I'm actually doing something. I even found that old photo album I thought I'd lost. Maybe I'll look at it later. Then I dig out my savings account statement. I haven't looked at it in ages. I do the math in my head, how much more I need for that car. It's still a long shot, but not impossible. I remember Dad promising that bonus last year. Yeah, right. Laptop time, I start hunting for scholarships, grants, anything. I know it's a long shot, but gotta try, right? Maybe I can shave off some of the cost. I almost applied for one last year, but then, well, I also start browsing job sites because my current part-time gig is okay, but the pay sucks. Maybe I can find something better, more hours, anything. I saw a flyer for a new place opening up downtown, so maybe I'll check it out tomorrow. Then I stumble on an article about financial literacy for teens. I click it. It's actually kinda interesting: budgeting, saving, investing. I realize I'm clueless about all this stuff, and I wish they taught this in school. The next few hours spent learning about financial stuff, compound interest, stocks, bonds. My head's spinning, but it's also kinda cool, like a whole new world's opening up. I even started looking into some online courses. I make a list of stuff I want to learn more about: investing, budgeting, career planning. I realize I have potential, a lot of it, if I just put my mind to it. I just hope I can actually stick to it this time. I shut the laptop and look around my room. It's still a mess, but it feels different, like a space where I can actually make something happen. I wonder if Sarah knows anything about investing. Probably not. I take a deep breath because I'm not letting my parents define me. I'm going to define myself. I'm going to become independent, self-reliant, successful. Not for them, but for me. I'm going to prove I can do this no matter what they think. It won't be easy, it will take time, effort, and sacrifice. But I'm ready to take control. I just hope I don't regret any of this later. I feel catharsis, like all the anger, sadness, and resentment is finally washing away, a weight lifted. I almost feel bad for how I acted at dinner. Almost. I'm not letting their crap hold me back. I'm using this as a chance to grow, to learn, to become the best version of me. I just wish I knew what was coming. I smile, real hope for the first time in a while. The road's long, but I'm ready to walk it. I'm ready to make my own destiny. Little did I know, things were about to get a whole lot more complicated. I'm sitting here replaying everything in my head, the fight, the comments, the advice, it's all just swirling. It's making me feel even more messed up than before. But one thing keeps nagging at me. Fairness, or more like the total lack of it. I think about Sarah. I love her, I really do, and I know she's been through hell. But does that mean I don't deserve to be treated fairly? Does her suffering just erase my own needs and feelings? Then I think about my parents. They say they love me, but their actions, they tell a totally different story. They're so focused on Sarah that they can't even see me, which means they can't see the sacrifices I've made, the stuff I've given up. It's not just about the car, it's about what it all means. It's about feeling like I actually matter. And that's when it hits me, this isn't just about me, it's about the whole family. It's about how we treat each other, how we value each other. If my parents are willing to just ignore my needs and feelings, what kind of message does that send to my younger sibling? What kind of example are they setting? I worry about them. Therefore, I realize that fairness isn't just about giving everyone the same thing. It's about seeing what everyone needs and treating everyone with respect. It's about seeing what each person does for the family and actually saying thanks. And that's what's missing in my family. There's no real thanks, no real seeing what anyone is worth. It's all about Sarah all the time. I think about all those families I see on TV, the ones where everyone is supportive and loving and understanding. I know it's not real, but it makes me wonder what it would be like to be part of a family like that. A family where everyone feels like they matter, where everyone is treated fairly. I know my family will probably never be like that. My parents are who they are and they're not going to change. However, maybe I can change. Maybe I can start treating my siblings with more respect. Maybe I can start showing my parents more thanks for the things they do, even if they don't always show it to me. Maybe, just maybe, I can start to make things a little more fair and loving in my family, even if it's just a little bit. It's not going to be easy and it's going to take time and effort. But I think it's worth a try because at the end of the day, family is important. And even though my family is far from perfect, they're still my family. And maybe, just maybe, if I start treating them with more fairness and thanks, they'll start treating me the same way. I just hope it's not too late.